Hi guys, Ashley here. Welcome to the next episode of Ashley's Digital China. Today we're going to talk about how to optimize your marketing campaigns and activities for Gen Zs this 11/11. 11/11 is coming very soon. Remember that it's no longer just a single day promotion, but since last year it's a whole huge festival that is spanning across 2 or 3 weeks, depending on the platform. Not just Alibaba and Jingdong, but also Pinduoduo, Douyin, and many other platforms are participating in single days extravaganza. It is still the world's largest online and offline shopping festival, and it is coming very soon. This year, the promotions are going to start in late October, and starting from 1st of November, there will be a series of events across channels and platforms. So why are we talking about Gen Zs in particular? Because they are an important consumer group, they are changing very fast, and of course they are one of the major driving forces behind 11/11's success. So as we are planning our campaign and planning our activities for this year, we need to understand what has changed in the past year with this consumer group. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at Gen Zs. Yes, indeed, despite the emergence of COVID cases, the lockdowns, the slowing economy, the unemployment rates rising, Gen Z still remains the biggest consumer group in China, especially when it comes to e-commerce. After all, Gen Z consumers now constitute 19% of the country's total population, and they stand at 260 million people. They might be young, but of course they gain a lot of purchasing powers through their work, and many of them already also have families, and their hobbies are extremely important for them as well. The rise of many economies in China, home economy, lazy economy, pet economy, are all due to Gen Z and their new, peculiar, interesting lifestyles and desires. It might be a bit difficult to keep up with Gen Z's tastes since they are relatively young and they keep changing what it is they like and want. Additionally, the factors that influence them are changing very easily as well. Today we're going to take a look at the 3 things that have changed when it comes to Gen Z preferences in the past couple of years. Important shifts that hopefully will help you plan your 11/11 and other campaigns to come. So let's start with number 1. Back then, it was all about videos. Right now, it's all about research. Let's take a closer look. Most Gen Zs spend an average of 2 hours daily on video entertainment across various platforms. As of 2022, video entertainment, both short and long form, is the most used entertainment type for Gen Z consumers. In fact, Douyin has become a search engine for Gen Zs, with 40% of them using the platform as a place to find information, not just about their daily life, but also about their preferred products. Gen Zs have 3 major consumption preferences: experience, beauty, and idols when it comes to videos. These 3 preferences are the major source of market seeding for Gen Zs when you want to launch essentially your product, right, or make it popular. These are the 3 things that you are using: experience, beauty, and idols, in order to put them in front of Gen Zs. Now, while videos are still important, right now Gen Zs are also doing research, and they are doing it a lot. Most of them are now relying on user reviews or testimonial experience, and actively research their chosen products online to deep dive into companies, for example, CSR policies, ingredients, and so much more. The consumer group is focused on product quality more than anything else. So with the information they have available, they also look for others with similar positive experiences or negative experiences online, and they group together. To take advantage of this, brands targeting Gen Zs like never before shall focus on cleaning up and improving their reviews on various social media platforms online. Apart from just reviewing your product, think about the brand story. Weave it inside product introductions, and this is something that's very much loved by Gen Zs across various platforms. When it comes to the main channels for Gen Zs to understand brands, Number one is KOC evaluation, right? Or recommendations on social media. That stands at 77%. Number two is friends recommendation and word of mouth. And number three is Weibo official account and other brand operated media at 47%. So see how it is. It's all about KOCs. It's about somebody else's reviews online. It's about your own friends recommending. And then of course, these are official channels. So think about your recommendation matrix in China. If you're targeting Gen Zs, this is one of the most important indicators of your success. Your reviews must be outstanding across all platforms when it comes to product, brand story, and you as a company as well. Number two, a slight shift from experiences first to quality is the key. So when it comes to experiences, remember like last year and the year before that, blind boxes and mystery boxes were dominating Chinese social media and the minds of Gen Zs. So many people were purchasing the little blind boxes with dolls. So many brands had their collections of blind boxes to have their Gen Z consumers come back again and again. Blind boxes were in vending machines for cosmetic brands. Some industries like matchmaking, for example, took it far where you could get yourself a blind box with a phone number of a boy or a girl with similar interests with you for potential dating. Well, blind box craze has been very lucrative, and don't get me wrong, it is still there. And it's actually getting even at the same level as the craze for example, escape room games, KTV bars, and internet cafes in the country. While experiences are extremely important, right now there's a lot of focus on quality. Yes, 618 data, China's second largest e-commerce shopping festival, shows that there is a drastic change in Gen Z preferences. There is a lot of focus on higher quality products, product safety, and premium service. These are ranked as number one consideration for Gen Zs when it comes to choosing what product to buy. And according to data, value for money is king, is extremely important for them. So to be specific, Gen Zs are not looking for cheap products, but they're looking for products with the highest quality for a given price point. Also, in this year's 2022's 618, young people have become increasingly refined and stingy even with their purchases. When asked about what's the most important factor to consider when buying their product, they answered need in life or good value for money. So it needs to be practical, and it needs to be good value for money and high quality. To capitalize on this trend, brands obviously need to focus on highlighting the quality of the products that they sell. And to do that, well, Gen Zs might not take the brand presentation at the face value. So you need to engage some bloggers and some KOCs or an army of fans that you have that actually test it, that testify that the quality is good, and share it on social media. Check out this pyramid of consumption demand upgrade in the evolution of Maslow's theory of needs. So you can see Chinese Gen Zs, first of all, are much more relaxed. Becoming lazy has become an irreversible trend, and the lazy economy is further increasing this energy. So it needs to be simple and easy to understand, to get to use. Number two, healthier, especially with COVID, this boost towards being healthy mentally and physically is extremely important. Then paying more attention to quality, right? And finally, lower carbon footprint. That's also what we see. The green trend is just again the tip of that pyramid at this moment, but it is becoming bigger and bigger and more important every single year. Moving on to number three, we're gonna talk about beauty. In the past, beauty was everything. Today, beauty is still important, but it needs to be practical. Let's take a look. Gen Zs are also the main force behind fashion and beauty trends in China because they are very much focused on appearances. China chic, or as we call it, guochao, is the top trend and category for beauty and fashion products that Gen Z patronize, especially with the increasing boom of domestic brands. Bloomberg considers Gen Zs as the make or break factor for Western brands in China, more specifically when it comes to beauty and luxury products. So whether or not in the next 10 to 15 years, luxury brands and beauty brands will be able to capture the hearts of Gen Zs. This will essentially determine whether international brands are going to still have a strong position in the market or slowly and gradually become a lot less important, and the domestic brands will occupy and later on export their products, their innovation across Southeast Asia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Well, in the past couple of years, beauty was paramount important. Right now, there is a shift towards not just beauty, but convenient beauty. Saving money instead of spending it on appearance-enhancing products is becoming more trendy with Gen Zs. Young people's tendency towards buying only what they need or self-pleasing consumption that promotes shopping for a better life and not necessarily an extravagant one is highlighting the importance of practicality for this consumer group. So Gen Z focus a lot on the products that you absolutely must have. So for brand marketers, look at your product line. What are your star products? Are these star products absolute must-haves or not? Give you an example, sunscreen. 15 years ago, sunscreen was not a must-have for all. Today, it has become that category. Even if I don't really put on a lot of makeup, sunscreen is something that I must have, or moisturizer, or let's say eye cream. For each consumer group, it is different. So you need to make sure that your product, or at least one of your star products, is in that must-have category. To relate to Gen Zs over the upcoming shopping festivals, it's important for brands to emphasize the necessity of their products and how are they essential to customers' daily lives, of course. To summarize, Gen Zs are changing and changing fast. The upcoming 11/11 is going to be very different from the years before. The upcoming New Year and CNY will be different as well. In general, right now, the economy in China is contracting a little bit, and we see that when it comes to online spending as well. So brand marketers will have to try much harder and smarter to appeal to the Gen Z consumers. It's not going to be revenge buying, revenge spending, and just following my heart all the way. It's going to be going into a lot of thoughtful purchases, something that I really need, and the consumers will need a bit more convincing than usual. Hope you guys are already planning and started executing your upcoming campaigns. If you need help with planning or revisiting your consumer profiles for China or planning your digital marketing strategy, feel free to reach out and I'll link you with my Ellery's team for more. As always, have a great week ahead and stay tuned for more Ashley's Digital China episodes to come.